Hello and welcome, my learning buddies, on Just Grammar. Today we are going to cover the most demanding lesson in English grammar, which really requires much time, that is direct indirect speech. It is called reported speech as well. Just get into the video quickly, as it is going to take time to learn the rules which we are going to apply to change direct into indirect speech. Okay, let's commence our lesson with the definition first. Let's move to the next slide to see the definition of direct speech. Okay, what is direct speech? Direct speech refers to a direct quotation of something that someone said. We punctuate the sentence in a certain way as it is said by someone. We write and speak it without making any changes. डायरेक्ट स्पीच क्या है? जब हमें फर्स्ट पर्सन कोई मैसेज देता है, कुछ कहता है, तो हम उसके वर्ड्स को एग्जैक्टली उसी वे में लिखते हैं जैसे उसने बोला, और उसके वर्ड्स को हम कोटेशन मार्क्स में रखते हैं. एज यू कैन सी इन एग्जाम्पल, these words are given by someone and we have written the words of that person in exactly the same way he spoke. We are not making any changes in it, right? Look at the example. He said, I can't wait to see the new teacher. Now there is somebody who spoke these words, that I can't wait to see the new teacher. Now here we are not making any changes. When we make changes, it becomes indirect speech. Let's learn about that in next slide. इनडायरेक्ट स्पीच है जब हम फर्स्ट पर्सन के मैसेज को थर्ड पर्सन को कन्वे करते हैं और उसमें कुछ चेंजेस करते हैं. When we convey first person's message to the third person, we make some changes in that sentence, right? As you can recall the sentence which I gave you as example in direct speech, that is, he said, I cannot wait to see the new teacher. Now see what changes are made in the sentence when we made it in direct speech. Look at the example given here on the slide. He said that he could not wait to see the new teacher. Can you observe that I have made so many changes in it? Yeah, I'm going to teach you all these changes which I've made in this sentence step by step in the next slides. Let's move to the next slide to see what changes are made in this sentence to make it indirect speech from direct speech. Look at the changes which we have made. Omission of commas. Yes, we do not use commas in indirect speech. Use of that. That is the word which is used as conjunction. Change in pronoun. Yes. I is changed into he. Change in tense. Yes, can became could here. Apart from these changes, we make a lot of changes when changing direct speech into indirect. I'll teach you all of them step by step in next slides. So I request you to keep in touch all the way to the end. Change in adverb. Let's learn this with the help of this table. Change in adverb means change in time and place. That is often changed when we change direct speech into indirect. Now what changes into what? Today becomes that day or the same day. Yesterday becomes the day before the previous day. The day before yesterday becomes 2 days before. Tomorrow becomes the next day or the following day. The day after tomorrow becomes in 2 days' time or 2 days later. Next week, next month, next year become the following week, following month, the following year. The last week, the last month, last year become the previous week, the previous month, the previous year. Ago becomes before, this becomes that, here becomes there, and now becomes then. Change in tense. Look at this table to learn how we make changes in tenses. When the sentence is given in simple present tense, that would be changed into simple past. Simple past changes into past perfect. Present continuous will be changed into past continuous. Past continuous will be changed into past perfect continuous. Present perfect changes into past perfect. Past perfect, no changes. It means it remains the same. You don't need to change the tense of the sentence. Present perfect continuous changes into past perfect continuous. Past perfect continuous, it requires no changes. It remains the same. Will becomes would, can becomes could, may becomes might, and had to changes into must. There are a lot of changes we are going to make. We are going to practice all of them with a lot of examples throughout the video, right? Let's move to the next slide. Now, what this slide says is, when reporting verb is in present tense or future tense, you don't need to change the tense in indirect speech. Look at the examples to make it clear. My friend says. Here in this sentence, the reporting verb is says, and that is in simple present form, right? My friend says, I am doing my work. The sentence given by the first person is, I am doing my work, and the tense of the sentence is present continuous tense. Right. The statement says when the reporting verb is in present form, simple present form, you're not going to change the tense of the sentence. You just need to change the pronoun accordingly. Right. Look at the indirect speech. My friend says that she is doing her work. It can be he as well because it is not defined whether the friend is he or she. Right. Move to the next example. My friend will say, I am very hungry. My mother will say, I am very hungry. Now, will say, that is in future tense form, right? Again, you don't need to change the tense of the next sentence, I am very hungry. You just need to change the pronoun here as well. That becomes, my mother will say that she is very hungry. Okay, let's move to the next slide now. When reporting verb is in past tense, you need to change the tense in indirect speech. Now here you're going to change the tense. When the reporting verb will be given in past form. And pronoun will also undergo corresponding changes. Now this slide will show you the examples in which you're going to change the tense because the reporting verb is in past form. Look at the examples. He said, I talked to him. I talked to him is the sentence which is written in simple present form. Because the reporting verb is in past form, this sentence will be changed into simple past, right? The sentence becomes, he said that he talked to him. I is changed into he and the tense has become simple past. He talked to him. Now, let's see some more examples. The sentence is, he said, I love drinking coffee. I love drinking coffee is again written in simple present form that will be changed into simple past when it will be changed into indirect speech because the reporting verb is said. The sentence becomes, he said that he loved drinking coffee. Again, I is changed into he here. Next example is, he said to me, I wrote a letter yesterday. The sentence becomes, he told me that he had written a letter the previous day. Here in this sentence, said to becomes told. We do not use the preposition to next to the word told. And then I becomes he here. The tense which was simple past now has become past perfect. Yesterday is changed into the previous day. The next example is, my mother said to me, your sister was looking for you here. The sentence becomes, my mother told me that my sister had been looking for me there. Said to is changed into told. Your sister becomes my sister here. And the tense was present continuous that has become past perfect continuous. Here is changed into there. Let's see the next slide. They said we were drinking water from your water bottle. They said that they had been drinking water from my water bottle. Look in this sentence. We has become they, and the tense which was past continuous that has been changed into past perfect continuous, and your water bottle has become my water bottle. See, even in Hindi we speak in the same way while we convey first person's message to the third person. अगर मैं बोलूं कि हम तुम्हारी वाटर बॉटल से पानी पी रहे थे, तो इसका मतलब ये सेंटेंस हमने बोला है उसमें मैं भी हूं, बट उसमें मैं नहीं हूं, ये किसी और का सेंटेंस है और मुझे किसी और को बताना है, तो मैं उसमें दे बोलूंगी कि उन्होंने कहा, राइट, कि वो मेरी वाटर बॉटल से पानी पी रहे थे. Right? That is why the sentence has become, they said that they had been drinking water from my water bottle. मेरी बॉटल से पानी पी रहे थे. Next example, she said to her friend, I have completed my work today. The sentence becomes, she told her friend that she had completed her work that day. In this sentence, you can see said to has become told, I has become she, and the tense which was present perfect has become past perfect now, and today is changed into that day. Let's move to the next slide to see more examples. The uncle said to us, I had been climbing the mountain since 1992. The uncle told us that he had been climbing the mountain since 1992. Now in this sentence, said to has become told, and the tense remains the same. You can go back to that table to see that past perfect continuous tense will not be changed. Next sentence, Nena said, I will bring a record player tomorrow. Nena said that she would bring a record player the following day. I becomes she in the sentence, and will is changed into would. Tomorrow becomes the following day. She said to me, I can swim. She told me that she could swim. Can becomes could. They said we had to go. They said that they must go. Now in this sentence you can see had to is changed into must. Next example says, Romy said, it may rain tonight. Indirect speech for the sentence is, Romy said that it might rain that night. May changes into might, and tonight becomes that night. Changes in all different types of sentences. WH question. There are two types of questions. One is closed question, the question which can be answered in yes or no. Like, can you swim? The person may answer in yes or no. If the person knows how to swim, would say yes. If he doesn't know how to swim, would say no. So such type of questions are called closed questions. But the other type of questions are WH questions. The questions which begin with which, when, where, why, how, whose, etc. Look at the example. He said to me, what movie were you watching last night? Is this a closed question? No. The person may answer differently. Now, how we change such type of sentences in indirect speech? Look at the example here. He asked me. Said to will be changed into asked when there is a question being asked. He asked me what movie I had been watching the previous night. In indirect speech, when we change such type of sentences, we do not write the sentence in question form. We do not use the helping verb before subject. Here in this sentence, the helping verb is had. Right? We are using it after subject. We are not going to write it as a question. Now the sentence becomes, he asked me what movie I had been watching the previous night. The sentence in indirect speech was written in past continuous form, obviously we'll have to change that into past perfect continuous. We have done the same here, right? And the last night is changed into the previous night. We have some more examples. My mother said to me, "Where are you going?" My mother asked me where I was going. If you write "where was I going," it would be wrong. Where I was going is the correct form. One more thing that you need to observe is we do not use question mark at the end of indirect speech. Next example is the teacher said, "Whose book is this?" The teacher asked whose book that was. Now we have yes-no question, the questions which can be answered in yes or no. They are called closed questions, right? We use if conjunction in such type of sentences when we change them into indirect speech. Let's move to the examples. She said to him, "Can you swim?" She asked him if he could swim. If is being used as conjunction in such type of sentences, in closed question type of sentences. My teacher said to me, "Have you completed the assignment?" My teacher asked me if I had completed the assignment. Now how we change the sentences which are used to give order, advice, command, or to make request. In such type of sentences, while changing them into indirect speech, we neither use that nor if. We use the word to and then verb. It means we use infinitive form of verb. Now let's see the examples. The sentence is the teacher said, "Stand up." It's a command. So we would write the teacher commanded to stand up. Next example is the teacher said to the class, "Study a bit harder." It's an advice. So the sentence becomes, the teacher advised the class to study a bit harder. Now how we change the sentences which are written in exclamatory form, means the sentences which are expressing somebody's feelings. Right? To change such type of sentences into indirect speech, we use the words exclaimed, exclaimed with joy, exclaimed with sorrow, wondered, wished, prayed, exclaimed sadly, or applauded in place of reporting verb. Let's move to the next slide to see the examples. The sentence is, he said, "Alas, I have not completed my work." Obviously, the person is sad, right? How is that person speaking this sentence? Obviously, sadly. So how we would write the sentence in indirect speech? The sentence becomes, he exclaimed sadly that he had not completed his work. Next sentence is, Alice said, "How clever I am." She's praising herself here. The sentence becomes, Elise exclaimed, happily it can be, Elise exclaimed that she was clever. I hope this video is effective enough to prepare you for your English exam. Keep watching the videos that I upload on Test Your Grammar. Do share this with your friends and relatives. Bye-bye.